Hello, hi. My name is Alex Lim. Most people know me as Alex Phatboy Lim. I don't have to talk about how I got that name because it's gonna take forever. But yeah, the I am the how do you say that?
Proprietor.
The founder. No?
Yeah.
I'm the founder of well, I started out Lighter Press and Records, which is it started out last 4 years ago. In the purpose the purpose there was to release to inform people about the new bands in Cebu. Basically we came up with the fanzine, the Lighter Press fanzine. Started out as a fanzine, then became a label after a year. The artists under Lighter Records are, of course, one of the best, basically, best bands in Cebu. You have Urban Dub, The Ambassadors, Fast Pitch, Still, Tekisoba versus Mediocre. We have new bands like Switch, also alumni bands like Point Click Kill and Nancy Spongin. I started out as a band, playing in a band. I played drums before, then I started playing vocals. Playing vocals. I started playing vocals. Nice. That's a good one.
To the band.
Started out guitars, then became a drummer, became I was kind of mixed because I wasn't really satisfied with what instrument. I just love to play around with different instruments. Especially I love to play with my organ. My organ. So because of that, I love to write songs also before. But then at that time in Cebu, it was so hard to push original music. So what happened is I quit the band because I was so fed up and tired of the scene not accepting original music, and or maybe it wasn't that. Maybe our band just sucked, so nobody really appreciated it. So, but it's a good calling, because at least because of that, I started going to media, worked as I worked as a writer for newspaper for album reviews. Started doing sideline DJs for stations. Then it was mixed. I got experience to the whole media thing, and then it dawned upon me that what if I started my own media? I started out with a.
Wait, don't forget the dark days.
the Neo whatever.
Neo Ground.
So I started out through the internet because back then the internet was really strong. So I came up with the site called Neo Ground, and Neo Ground was a party website and an event website, which led me to meet up with a lot of bands because we started going to events, and then I used that I used that channel, the internet, to promote bands, which is most of the back then. Sheila and the Insects, Frank. The first band I managed was Glitch. Then started promoting through the site, then learned how to manage bands, and then got into doing events. And then after Neo Ground, Neo Ground decided to close because the party scene was not doing that great after 2001. So I got into management, which is Glitch was the first band I managed, and that time I still couldn't go to Manila because when they had a deal with EMI, I couldn't go. So that was my sort of regret that I didn't really got into it. But back then it was I had a lot of things to think about. My company just closed, Neo Ground. I had to find a stable job, so I started working for a stable job, started working for my dad for almost a year or two. Then after that, still looking for music. I still look for it, so what I did is I got offered to manage a bar, which was Ronnie's Tattoo, And that also came to a point where I got to meet a lot of bands. I discovered bands like Fast Pitch in Ronnie's Tattoo, and of course had different bands like Still. Yeah, Still. Yeah, I also discovered them there. I don't even know why they're playing there. It's supposed to be an evil bar. Yeah, I mean, because of that, I started getting more communications with the bands, and in fact, by that time, I managed Smooth Friction and Power Spoons, which Power Spoons was a huge band. They were loved by like San Miguel events. They're always like the forerunners of like events in Cebu, because they were the only band who's playing original music, and was loved by a lot. So it was them and Smooth Friction that started me going into management. So after that, so the management part was there and the media side was there. So eventually I thought about another concept. One was because there were a lot of Cebu when I was managing Ronnie's Tattoo Bar. I thought about it, but the thing was, back in Cebu those days, it wasn't really like there was no support for media, although there's a few radio stations who played original music back then, but it was still because of our sort of like our contacts. Like for example, my partner for Lighter Records used to be like this Mark Tesh, used to be a DJ of NU107. So it was just that same circle where we tried to pull up pull up the bands who were unknown back then. So then Lighter Press had we released our first issue with 2,000 copies. We were giving it out away in schools, especially to kids, because my plan there was the target is start influencing the kids now, so when they start when they're in college already, they can go out, go to bars and watch bands. So actually that was the start where you could see that there was a growth from giving those flyers back then. A year after or 2 years after, you can see people going to clubs already. So the projection was just about right. And by that time, there was a big scene going on in Cebu. But the biggest problem was to release albums independently. There were two companies in Cebu that did it fairly. I say this in a way that says fairly because they didn't really go out aside from just Cebu.